So, just a brief introduction about Revolut for those of you who don't know us. We started 2 years ago, and the problem we set out to solve was the fact that customers get screwed over when they spend money in foreign currencies and send money abroad. So a typical consumer in the UK, spending £500 on holiday in France, will pay £30 in fees, right? It'll be about 6%. Often it's hidden in a bad exchange rate, and yet banks get away with it. So that was the core proposition with which we launched. The fact that you got an app, it was linked to a physical MasterCard, and you could use that to spend in any currency in the world where MasterCard is supported. We then added on a few other features, such as money transfer, so that you could, for a cheaper price than TransferWise, send money to any currency, to a bank account in other countries, because we always give customers the interbank rate. That's the rate that banks trade with each other, and there's no markup on that rate. And over the last year, we've really seen demand from our international-minded customers for other financial services, because they came to us for FX and they said, actually, we want to come to you for wealth products, we want to come to you for credit. So we launched those two products first. And then what we've done more recently is look at the insurance space. And we've been developing some really cool products, I think. The first one we did was in the realm of travel insurance, because travel insurance hasn't really changed in 200 years, let's be honest, right? And what we have worked on is a pay-as-you-go proposition where our app detects when you're abroad and automatically insures you for 99p per day. And when you come back to your home country, obviously the app detects your home, turns it off, and you're no longer paying. Because who wants to be insured when you're in your home country and it doesn't actually matter? And this has actually allowed us to do some really cool things. So we've been able to set up geofences around areas, so ski areas. If you land in Geneva, we can send you a push and say, listen, we see you're in a ski area, do you want to add on ski coverage for an extra 20p per day? And we can do the same in a whole range of other scenarios. So that product's actually going live in October, so if you've got Revolut, keep a lookout for it. We think that'll be the first time that people will move away from the standard annual multi-trip insurance policy to something very, very actually bespoke to how many days you're traveling. So that was the first piece, and I think that was an interesting example of how going to an insurer when we first started, so maybe a year ago, we told them about this concept, and they said, no, go away, you're too small, we don't want to get our heads around underwriting a proposition like this. Fast forward 6 months later, when we have now 850,000 customers, and they suddenly are much more willing to listen. So we have about 3 different insurance companies that actually want to underwrite that policy for us. So that was the first thing we did. The second thing we focused on was mobile phone insurance, because that is actually an insurance product I believe very firmly in, and the reason for that is simple. 25% of people who buy an iPhone break it in the first year, so it's actually a product that people use. And it's also a product where when people have an accident, they don't want just a bulk standard payout, they want to have a brand new phone or a repaired phone in their hands in a matter of days maximum. So we actually just launched that in the UK yesterday, so we're very excited about that product. We've teamed up for that with Simple Assurance, which is a German insurtech company on the service provision side. They recently raised a lot of money from Rakuten and are expanding like hell, and the underwriter for that is Allianz. But the beautiful thing we have with our app, and I think this comes back again to the fact that Revolut as an app can be such a powerful distribution platform because of the fact we have already 850,000 customers, growing 3,000 customers a day, and the fact we have some really nice triggers that people who use the app frequently will always see. So we can tell, for example, as soon as a customer upgrades device onto a new device, we can send them a push and tell them to upgrade to new insurance, which is really the best time to get someone to do it. So next week, when everyone's upgrading to the iPhone 8, they'll be getting pushes as soon as they've done so. And the product's actually a really cool one. So we've worked on some technology for kind of the phase 2, where when you sign up, we want to let people insure devices that are 4 months, 5 months, 6 mons old. But the big issue that insurers have with this is that it leads to huge amounts of fraud. So any programs that are running like that at the moment are have crazy high frequencies, and insurers are all trying to shut down those programs. But what we've built in is actually a screen damage detection piece in the sign-up flow, where a customer has to trace a pattern on the screen. And based on how they do that, we're able to tell whether the screen is actually damaged or cracked, and either say, yes, you're allowed to sign up, or no, we can detect your phone is damaged. So I think that's a cool way where we're not just becoming a distribution outlet in a really targeted way. We're actually using our technology to help the whole underwriting process and ensure the overall profitability of the kind of insurance product as a whole. So I think that's what we've focused on so far. When we look forward, there's a whole load of other things we want to do. So life insurance is the next one in the pipeline, because typically that's never been done in a fully digital way. In fact, very few insurance companies have APIs that allow a flow to be completely digital in another customer's app. So we're pushing a lot of these traditional insurers to get their heads around this. And I think if you look at penetration in the UK for life insurance, above 35, it's about 30-40% of people have life insurance, so the actual potential there is huge for us. And I think I'll just end by saying there are a lot of very interesting players in the space of insurtech who are creating their own apps, really focusing on very niche products. And I think they're doing a great job to raise the profile, but when I speak to underwriters every day, it's very hard for those guys to actually get traction without spending so much money on acquiring customers and trying to differentiate themselves on platforms like moneysupermarket.com or direct Google advertising. I think the beauty of our setup, and the reason I'm looking to integrate with APIs with lots of other insurtech companies, is we already have the customers there. The cost of acquiring those customers is super low because we can target them in a really efficient way. And I think generally this is how we'll see a lot of these cool companies grow and actually get customers, as opposed to them going direct to the customer base. But yeah, thanks a lot for your time. I would encourage you all to sign up for the Revolut app. It's completely free, and then you can check out our new insurance products as they come live. Device insurance just went live yesterday. Thanks a lot, guys.